Thank you for being here. This is Isla Valkyrie, and today I'm really excited to introduce our beautiful guest, Angela. And Angela, can you pronounce your last name for me properly?
Yes, it's Angela Leigh.
Angela Leigh. Okay. We are officially relaunching the Path to New Earth Freedom Dream Life with this powerful conversation that you won't want to miss. I'm Isla Valkyrie, Freedompreneur Coach, Ascension Guide, Water Priestess, and in this episode, I sit down with Angela Leigh, which is a soulful healer, an expert in emotional resilience, and we're going to talk about one of the most life-changing topics, breaking the generational cycle of trauma with repressed emotions. We go deep into how emotional patterns get passed down, why suppressed feelings hold us back, and the real steps to emotional freedom, connection, and healing your lineage from the inside out. This episode is heartfelt, full of transformational insight, lots of flow, and perfect if you are ready to rise into your freedom dream life. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Angela. Share a little bit about you and how we can connect to you.
Yeah, so, like most starseeds, I have had a pretty traumatic life. I had an alcoholic father who was abusive in every way, and having not had the ability to express how I felt about that, and also his rage was so big that I decided at a very young age that I needed to not ever be angry because I wasn't going to be like him. And that was when I started repressing emotions consciously as a young child. Yeah. Yeah. And I didn't, at the time, I didn't understand that that would have lifelong reverberations. So I pretty much repressed anger until I was in my 50s. And then a wildfire happened and I lost everything, including, it's like one moment a homeowner and then nothing. So, but that was truly my awakening. That was when I started asking those soul deep questions like, am I living the life I'm meant to live? And the answer was a resounding no. So it started me on a journey that I remember one healer that I went to, and she would make me sit with my emotions, and I like didn't want to do it. And so I understand how we all come to the point of repressing our feelings. But when you can sit with a painful feeling, you actually have freedom.
Yes. Yes. Pain is our greatest teacher.
Yeah.
Truly is. And I didn't learn that until my 48th rotation around the sun. Yeah.
So we're coming to it late, but we did come to it, which is good.
Right.
Yeah. And it's so amazing how even today, parents don't realize that they're teaching their child to repress when they say things like, don't cry. Or, hey, turn that frown upside down into a smile. And pull your big girl panties up and be a girl or be a man. And these messages are invalidating the feelings.
Absolutely. And it's like something that's passed down, it's like language that's passed down. And so we don't even realize that the language we're using is so disempowering until we hear it from that other angle, from that healed version of, wow, that's what my inner parent or my actual parent or my grandparent was saying to me.
Yeah, exactly. And, like you said, it's generational. So they learned it from their parents who learned it from their parents. And the interesting thing was my aunt is a Reiki master. Wow. And I was talking to her one day and she said, your father, Jimmy, was such a sensitive child. And it was like oh my gosh, I could see the threads of, this generational trauma. He started drinking because his parents rejected him because he was a sensitive boy,
Yeah,
which
which is
wasn't,
not okay back in that day.
not okay back then. And so he started drinking to avoid those feelings. And then he passed down his anger on me, which then caused me to avoid feelings. And it just keeps going until someone says, hey, wait a minute, this isn't how I want it to be.
And even, it may not even be that cognitive. It may be a huge trauma that happens that triggers it, And
Yeah.
even little things like saying, oh, shame on you, or what a shame, just the verbiage of that, putting shame on somebody for something little, like, you misplaced something. Oh, what a shame, or shame on you. And that language even is just so disempowering. And then to the, all the way out expanded to those big, giant explosions and traumas that happen.
Yeah, because when we repress an emotion, it stays in us. It doesn't flow.
Someplace in the body where it's held, whether it's mental, emotional, physical, or spiritual.
Yes. And so it could be held in the emotional body, but every time you repress, you're building that mountain up. And what happens is eventually it will pop out and you will
Real
attack.
ugly.
It's called an emotional trigger. Yeah.
Yes, that's the ugly that comes out. We're like, oh wow, I didn't mean for that to come out that way. But I call it the volcano. And I had been married to someone that was a volcano, and it just would come out in the craziest ways, and all of a sudden it's just this outrage or whatever way it expresses itself. And it's in an unhealthy way when it's coming out because they've put so many bricks around it, and the lava's gonna come through.
It's got to explode out.
Explode out.
Yeah, a lot of what I teach in my children's fairy tales is the positive expression of emotions. So I don't think that emotions are positive or negative. I think they're energy.
Yeah, they just simply are, right? Well, let's start with your children's series. What does that look like?
Oh, well, they're the Bella Santini Chronicles, and each book kind of builds on the consciousness. So the first book is about becoming body aware of your emotions, how they feel in you, and how can you face a feeling that is difficult, painful. And so there's a technique that I teach called the Feel and Free method. And there's a lot of science behind why it works, but the Feel and Free method, you feel, you name, and allow the emotion. And the reason it works is because your mind, when it's focusing on the circumstances of what happened, it prolongs the emotion. So as long as your mind is dwelling on the circumstances, the emotion is just flowing out. But an emotion, the process of an emotion in your body is 90 seconds if they're allowed to flow.
Wow. Yeah. That's why pets don't hold emotional trauma. There could be something that happened, and then, a minute or two,
and then they're over it. Yeah.
They're over it. They don't hold anything. And horses too, they don't hold anything. They just move through it. And if we could learn from them and be like water, I work so deeply myself with the water, and water holds.
It is like water. Yeah. So because when you're focused on the emotion itself, so your mind is disconnect from the circumstances, thinking the focus of your attention, all of it is on the emotion, then you're giving the emotion the attention it needs so that you can have that flow of it. It's the information that you're getting. Yeah. And then when you give yourself permission to feel it, it's like it goes.
It does. It doesn't have to stay. That's exactly right. And I've dealt with a lot of grief in my life, and grief is one of the emotions that comes up, completely sidebars you.
Oh, yes.
Nowhere.
It'll smack you in the head.
It'll
And
sneak in there. You could be driving, you could be shopping for groceries, it could just be just anything random, and then it just comes in, and the more that you push against it, the more it wants to be free, and it will last and it'll just dig
yes,
in. But if you
absolutely.
cry right there in the moment, it is just a short cry. It doesn't even
Right.
have to be a whole.
Because the feeling is allowed to flow. So it moves.
It does.
It's I say grief is one of those really deep rabbit holes that you can fall into.
Mhm.
And having the tool of the emotional freedom method means that you can skate around that rabbit hole without ever falling in.
Oh, I love skating around the rabbit hole. That's great. Yes, I will definitely borrow that and credit you with that, because skating around that, that hole could be real deep, but we're like, whoop, I'm just going to put on my ice skates and just
Well,
get past it.
and I imagine that you are empathic.
Yes, I'm a Reiki master teacher as well, and I'm an angelic channel. And
And
so
so am
I
I.
move
Yeah.
through a lot of that energy.
My books are channeled from
Yeah.
the angelic realm.
I
So
felt that as soon as you said the title. As soon as you said the title, I was like, whoa.
well, thank you. Yeah. It's really, the first book is about learning how to face your feelings. The second book teaches the victim triangle and how to get out of it.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. That's a huge triangle. Yes. And I learned about that, interestingly enough, after my mom died. My dad picked up a girlfriend that he had had in high school. This is
Mhm.
like a 50-year, span where they didn't speak. And she was a narcissist. And she
Oh,
was also a therapist, interestingly enough.
oh, yes.
So it'd be really, really interesting. But she taught me about the emotional triangle. And come to find out, she was actually participating in it, with the relationship with my
Exactly.
dad.
Yeah.
But it's,
And for
it's
those,
one of the old
the
teachings.
listeners who aren't aware of that, there's victim, rescuer, and persecutor. And when you're playing in any side of that triangle, you're within the energy. So even if you think I have to rescue that person from
Oh, yeah.
being harmed, that is playing in victim energy. I had one therapist scream at me because I said that. So I'm supposed to let the little girl be abused by her father? I'm like, well, no, you send love to both sides
Yes.
of, you send love to the little girl in hopes that,
Now,
yeah, and you
because we
send
get
love
sucked
to the
in.
father.
You can easily get sucked into those traumas and dramas of those, and both of us working with clients as well. We know that we're dealing with deep, deep stories. I'm a shamanic practitioner, so I deal with people's stories on the soul level, from soul retrieval and also through plant medicine ceremony. But having to zoom out so you don't get caught into that story, because it's really easy to find yourself empathizing and then having to help in that way, and then we're not in the
And then
role.
you're kind of playing in the energy. Yeah.
Yeah, the energy comes in, and it's tricky. It's a tricky energy too, very much so, because it's you can get caught in the enabler as well.
Yes. That's part of the energy. And it's not saying that you can't help people. You can help people by sending love. When you send love to both sides of a conflict, they both have the opportunity to choose love in that instant.
Yes, absolutely. And we always have the opportunity to choose love, to choose joy in any instance, in any circumstances. And we have the opportunity to zoom out and just see that everything all the time is happening for us and never to us.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a hard road for me to go from being the victim, which I was in a toxic marriage, and I allowed myself to be mistreated for 32 years. And then the wildfire happened. And that was the moment that I said, hey, wait a minute. I've been choosing his needs all this time, never mine.
Yeah.
And I need to pay attention to what my needs are. So
Wow.
it was my first act of self-love.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, hooray for listening to her. Hooray.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you are helping all these people. And so thank you.
Well, thank you, because you do the same work. And
We're
you know,
all ears.
my modality is writing, and my words carry these codes, but you know, I really honestly feel like all star seeds are just coming together now, and we're helping each other, we're supporting each other, and it's a beautiful thing.
It is, and it is out. It is activating so quickly, so fast. Like when I decided I was going to relaunch my podcast, and we decided to do this, I have now 15 podcasts booked through the end of the year. Like boom, 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 boom. It's everyone has, and when I channeled my why recently, my why has been something that I've worked on with my mission statement, and I'm a digital nomad, so I've married my why with my professional, my personal, and all of that. And it hasn't really shifted too much in 5 years, but when I channeled it recently, it came out a little different, and this was just last month. And it started with, my art is my voice. And so that's really what I'm doing, is I'm a voice for the collective. And
Absolutely.
I'm happy to do that.
Yeah, and my writing is my voice. It's carrying the codes of the angels that channeled through me into the books.
Yes.
They're not, you know, they're not simple fairy tales. They will captivate your kids. They will teach your kids different things about how to be in the world, be present, be grateful, be
these virtues that we have kind of lost touch with in our society.
Yeah, being instead of
really, like, to be a kid, you know, be a kid, just be.
That's so powerful. Yeah, be a kid, even for us grown-ups.
We have to be a kid.
Yes,
and we get to play. This is divine play. We get to play. We get to do this. We get to be in collaboration with each other and share our love and our magic. And it's just so beautiful.
And it is, yeah, it's very magical. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you for stepping into the magic and bringing the magic through for the world. And what is your first book titled?
That one is called Bella Santini in the Land of Everlasting Change.
Okay. And so when we start with that book, you have a free offer?
I do, actually. So when you purchase that book, there is a QR code inside the book for a free download of an emotions journal for kids. So the books are aimed at 9 to 13.
Okay, I was going to ask.
Yeah, you remember junior high? Oh my God,
yes,
that horrible time.
They're so crunchy.
Yeah. So they need the support.
Thank you. Yes. And I have always valued working with youth in that age, specifically young girls, and, gender fluid, that identify as female.
Yes.
It's such an influential age.
Yeah, there is the feminine, the non-binary, and the masculine journal.
Oh, wonderful. That's so cool. So
because I want to be inclusive.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. Well, I know so many in my life that could already use this, and I will definitely be looking at this for Christmas gifts and holiday gifts, birthday gifts, because this is such an asset. Giving gifts with value versus things that are going to be discarded and just, random items is so important. And
it is.
And carry with them.
And I also, to me, it's like the books are best if a parent reads to them.
Because it's that bonding, learning together.
Bonding connection, yeah. But even deeper than that, the kids all the kids are old souls right now. You know,
Wow.
anyone born after 2012 is an old soul, a starseed.
I'm just getting
And
waves of chills as we speak these truths.
so they get it. They get those angelic understandings pretty quickly,
Oh yeah.
but their parents don't.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a sneak attack.
It is. You get to have fun reading this story, and you're going to understand things in a different way. It's like through the lens of love.
Absolutely. And I would love to speak to that because a lot of people think that sending love is like a spiritual bypass or it's woo or whatever. And I'm here to say only love is real. That is the
Thank
only
you.
thing that is real. And so I just am calling that out for any of y'all that are like, oh yeah, I just send love to the situation, blah, blah, blah.
Blah,
That
blah.
is the biggest thing that you can do and the most effective thing that you can do on this
It
planet.
is absolutely. You know, you're on Instagram and someone says something and you write sending love. And what I actually do is stop
And actually,
and send love because I don't want it to be me, just writing something. I actually want to send love.
right. And that's
And
like you said, the words carry the codes. When they are written with intention like that, as we
Mhm.
know, as Reiki master teachers,
Oh
we
yeah.
know that there is a code that gets set in that text, which makes that text literally alive. And the
Mhm.
books that are channeled, such as your books, have living reverberation. Like when they
Yes.
are written, it is written in a code that is timeless. And this is, I'm channeling this for you to have a description on how that channel works, is that they are saying that when it is written, there is a code that is inscripted, and no matter what language it's translated in, it is actually coded in that written form just from them simply seeing it with their eye. It doesn't have to be cognitively understood because it is understood, not understood. And so
Thank you.
by itself,
So good.
just simply by having it in your field, they're learning it through osmosis, and that is literally a thing. And so even just having it on the bedside table, they're already
Mhm.
learning these codes.
Mm,
So that's what
thank
they want
you.
me to share for you.
That's a beautiful channel. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. And I actually experienced that when I first learned Reiki back in 2000, 2001.
Mhm.
And I was like, oh wow, this, I'm feeling so many things. Like I remember doing my Reiki level 2, and I was learning it because my mother had been diagnosed with breast cancer, and there was such an aggressive
Ooh,
treatment. And so
yeah.
I was praying about a situation where how could I help empower her? How could I help find something that's going to be an alternative form of healing versus these conventional forms that are so aggressive and toxic? And
Yeah.
so that's how I found Reiki. And so after learning Reiki, I remember driving in my car, and when I would turn and it was winter, then the heat, I could feel the air move
Oh,
in a way that I'd never felt before. It's like it was like
yeah.
a chain reaction. I would turn and then the air would turn. And I was like, oh, whoa. And so
There are,
and then I got home and I was like looking at some Reiki books, and I was thinking to myself, oh, this is not even real. I'm just making this up in my head.
yeah.
And I was like, oh, Spirit said, stop right now. You have clogged sinuses. I had seasonal allergies at the time, and do Reiki on your sinuses. And I immediately just stopped and I just sent the energy to, asking and channeling and asking for that clarity. And immediately my sinuses cleared. And then I
Mm,
saw in the text where it was written, and then they actually did like a little parentheses. This text was intended for you to receive it in the moment. And I was like, what? Because I
wow.
did, and I was like, and it was like this, it hit my heart like boom, and I was floored that it's actually working. And
Yeah.
it's real. It's very real.
Yeah. Energy is real. Um, I can sometimes see it, not all the time. I can definitely feel it because I'm empathic and clairsentient, and
Yes.
I'm clairaudient and claircognizant, and we're not special.
This is our natural
Everybody
state.
has, yeah, everybody has access to these powers.
Absolutely.
It's just as you have to be present, you have to be self-aware, and that's where my books help.
I'm so excited to learn more about your teachings in your book. And how can we download your free gift and order the book?
So the free gift link is inside the book. So once you get the book, it's right there. Just go to the end of the book and you could download it. Also, because kids are like, my heart is for kids. That's it. Just, I love kids. I created a website for them. So bellasantini.com is a website that teaches some of the ancient magic to kids.
Oh, how fun.
Yeah, so there are runes, there are mandalas, there's understanding the hermetic laws, just all, yeah, it's about kids becoming more in touch with who they are.
Wow. I think a lot of grown-ups could use that too.
Well, I do have the on the Whispering Woods page of that website, I have emotion cards that are like, draw a card and the right one will come up for you. And so you might learn about grief, or you might learn about anger. And it's going to be perfect for wherever you are in that moment.
And is that on the same website?
Yeah, that's all on bellasantini.com.
Oh, well, what a beautiful resource.
Plus, you can find out what kind of fairy you are today.
Okay, well, I'm getting on there right after this call because I just want that validation.
And don't forget to look at the dragon page, because you can learn who your dragon protector is on this day.
This sounds so fun. Oh,
magical.
Thank you so much for downloading and bringing in all these fun, beautiful resources. And I'm so looking forward to continuing to work with you as we develop our collaborations together.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, anything else in our final wrap-up that you'd like to share?
You know, I want people to know that they are perfect the way they are. You know, there's all kinds of people who will tell you that you need to do this or do that, or learn this or learn that. And you can let that go, because no matter who you are perfect the way you are. You are where you need to be right now. And yes, there's always growth, but have it on your terms, not on what someone tells you to do.
Thank you. Even if that's someone you love.
Yeah, even if.
Yep. And you don't need to explain it to anybody.
No, you don't.
You can just, and no is a single sentence. N-O, period.
That's so true. Yes.
Well, thank you so much today for being on our podcast and helping us to relaunch this beautiful path to New Earth. As all of us that are walking this path as star seeds, first wave teachers, second wave teachers, and all of the beautiful violet flames that are coming in these tiny bodies as old souls, we are looking forward to working with each of you.
Yes, we are.
Okay, we'll see you tomorrow, or see you on the next one. We'll be joining you on Instagram Live as well.